year, you watch them play for multiple years, and they play as good a defense as anybody in the country.
As you mentioned, you know Brent well. What is it about him that makes his scheme so challenging to play against?
I think he has some core fundamental beliefs, the way he was raised, playing for Coach Snyder and being around Coach Stoops and being around Coach Levitt as a player and as a coach, and the way those guys trained him, and then all those years at Oklahoma. I think he was there for 13, 14, give or take. Now he's been at Clemson on a great run, so he's got a great background that starts with fundamentals, effort, and energy. He's a high-energy guy, phenomenal workout guy. I couldn't get to the golf course fast enough. He couldn't get in the weight room and go run and get his 5 miles of running in back in the day. So he's a high-energy guy, has core fundamentals and beliefs and tackling and being aggressive and getting after the ball. But I think over time he's evolved to where he's got things he's comfortable in, where he's very multiple. Brent, when we had a chance to compete in practice, those practices were so fun going against him and Coach Stoops, and it was me and Chuck Long or Kevin Sumlin or Jay Norvell. We're all kind of working together, Josh Heupel, and it was so competitive because you didn't know what you were going to get, and it made you work. And one day they would get you, and the next day you would try to, quote, come back and get them without ever being personal. So he's got a great mind. He's got a quick mind. He's very much a game day coach. I think Coach Stoops coached a football game like a basketball coach, where he was into a lot of guys follow a piece of paper and a script and tendencies. Coach was a feel guy. I think Brent has great feel for the game, great feel for defense, great feel for game day, and he puts his guys in great situations.
What do you think it was about that staff at Oklahoma that breeded so many of you guys that have gone on to be successful coaches?
There's a lot of other places that are similar. One, it's one of those programs that attracts guys, but also we had a great leader, one with the president, with the AD, Joe Castiglione, but then with Coach Stoops. It attracted quality guys, but were really good coaches. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun coaching there, and it was fun in practice. That's why I made a comment, I think you guys remember, I like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That goes back to Oklahoma. Those spring ball days and those Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it was never personal, but it's almost like you were playing with your brother and you were trying to kick his butt. And sometimes he got you and sometimes you got him. And those were as a coach, those are some of the most fun days of my life.
There were some rumors recently that you were a candidate for the head coaching job at Colorado State. Was that something you were actually interested in, and kind of what was that process?
Well, those rumors, that when my children called me that day asking what's going on, because they didn't have a clue. So there's the beauty of rumors. That was kind of we did have a chance in visiting, because Coach Meyer's part, to ask if there was interest. There was. I knew the athletic director there. They went in another direction. But if it's meant to be, I thought we had the opportunity through those Oklahoma Times to get to Indiana. I thought we were building a strong program. We've lost that opportunity. We're at a great place, and if it's meant to be, maybe you get that opportunity. But I'm not living my life to get that opportunity right now. My life is being led by, my kids are now kind of grown. Got one left to go, but it's coaching these kids at a great place and trying to win as many games and keep pushing this program forward to greatness.
So you anticipate being back here in 2020 for Ohio State?
Well, it's a two-way street now. It's not a one-way deal.
If they want to keep you.
I haven't pursued, quote, jobs. I just always felt you do your job the best you can, and if opportunities are meant to be. The older I've gotten, it's more about making sure you're raising your family where it needs to be raised, and that's kind of almost done, although you're always still a parent raising, quote, your kids and there for them. But now it's about impacting lives, coaching kids, and hopefully impacting a program. So got a great relationship with Coach Day, love the players we're with, and so I'm blessed to have a great job, and we got a tremendous challenge this week, so we're looking forward to that.
Kevin, you mentioned the multiple fronts, the multiple blitzes that Clemson will bring. How important is it for Justin, Josh, those guys specifically, to be able to identify that stuff as it's happening on the field?
Yeah, and it's hard because, one of them, they can be so multiple that can lead to confusion, it can lead to hesitation, it can lead to lack of confidence. And so there's a happy medium too, that sometimes you will just go and just run and don't worry so much, and you can be unsound, and now you're running into a loaded box and you feel like you're a play behind, and now the chain's getting second down and long and third down and long, and it plays into their advantage. It's tough. I think one of the beauties of coaching, and when you have good players, is trying to teach them how to have a clear mind. And when there's a lot of things that this team does, because they're so multiple, how can we eliminate clutter? And because sometimes it is like no different than offense. Sometimes we do a lot of stuff, but it's like eye candy. It's not as complicated as it looks. And there's a little bit of that with their defensive package. There's a lot of things they're throwing at you. How do you eliminate clutter so you can be sound, not fall behind change? So it's a balance. It's not like if you try to be perfect, I don't know if you can run a lot of plays because there's so many looks. So it's not about being perfect. It's taking care of the ball. It's taking care of your quarterback. When you get the opportunity, you got to make the plays to stay on the field and to move drives. I think for the year that we looked, I think we have 5 goal line plays for Clemson this year. 5. I think we had 11 or 12 plays inside the 12-yard line. So what do? I don't know. They're not down there a lot. So there's not a lot of opportunities. That being said, you want to be sound, but this game's not a game of perfect. They have tremendous players. We have tremendous players. They do a lot of good stuff. We're going to try to do a lot of good stuff. Ultimately, our kids are going to have to make some plays for us and pull us through in some pinches on some tough looks.
Coach, you guys have been